3. Okay, we're right into this.
No, this is actually sort of demo in
Ah,
front of
this is the
the
demo.
title screen. So
Gotcha.
I think we'll go to the title screen. Yeah, here's the title
Okay,
screen.
here we are. Here we are. I thought you jumped right into the game.
Also, always look at the options first. That's just like a tick for me. I just want to see, is there options? I have to be. This was interesting.
Now,
This is the
you're
difficulty
playing with some
select.
real hardware, right?
Yes, and that's why it's maybe a bit fuzzy because it's upscaled 480i, so not 480p. Because I'm not using HDMI cable. I have the hardware for it, but I'm playing on CRT, so.
Gotcha. So now comparing the CRT play with what we're seeing here on
It's
a,
so much better. On
yeah,
CRT, I thought, whoa, this is amazing looking game. Now, when I watch this, it's like, wow, this is really grainy and ugly. But probably if I use the HDMI cables and use 480p resolution, it's probably really nice looking on LCD as well.
oh, interesting that they're focusing in on an RGB monitor there, so we could get that idea.
Yeah, yeah, that's how the game actually looked. Yeah, for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Now you've never played the original Resident Evil on the PlayStation, right?
No, it's ridiculous. I only played Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. Never completed it, but maybe played like 5 hours of it. And somehow, like the survival horror genre, I never appealed to me that much. But we'll see what my opinion is next to this game.
Gotcha.
I'm not against it or against survival horror, but it never crossed my path or something. I always played the happy Nintendo games and Quake.
And Quake. Yeah. Happy Nintendo games and Quake. Because, there's nothing happier, especially in color palette, than Quake.
Yeah, a lot of brown. It's also I'm playing Quake on stream, and you see all those Game Boys on the background, and my whole collection of Game Boy stuff.
Yeah.
I have two passion Game Boy and Quake.
Okay, so what are you making of this intro as you're watching it?
Actually, it was quite atmospherical. It got me into the game. Normally, like the introductions annoy me. That I think, okay, this is taking me too long. Skip it and let's go. But you really get into the game with this introduction, and I think cinematical. It's
The cinematography.
yeah, cinematography is it's quite good. It's not yeah, it felt right.
Yeah.
It's not annoying. So or else I would have skipped it. But as you can see, I watched the whole thing.
Well, you kind of have to. I mean, you need to get that feeling early on in the game to really appreciate it, I guess. It has to set the tone. Now, this is the one big difference with the original. In the original, they used live actors.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh no, it's
Yeah, it's campy.
craptastic.
Yeah, probably.
It's
but that's cool, right? Just like Command and Conquer and
oh, they wish they had the production values of Command and Conquer.
So this is already in game or in game
This
engine.
is in-game graphics. Yeah, this is using the engine.
And it
You
looks
can tell by the jaggies.
yeah, but it looks for me it's like the I always felt the early Resident Evil games looked like the characters didn't belong in the background, but they blend decently. now. The characters look they belong into the world for me, and especially on the
the
CRT.
lighting is much better.
Yeah, but also the polygons as well on the characters
Of
are
course.
nice. Okay, now to find out how the controls work.
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets interesting. The tank controls.
They try to fix the tank controls on this version, I think, but I laughed my ass off when playing this.
It's almost as if you can't tell that there's supposed to be a table there that you keep running into.
Look at me zigzagging through the room.
Oh my god, yes.
It's like it's so silly and absolutely not immersive when you're playing this. It's like, what am I even doing? Walking into the wall. Look at me. And also the camera shifting also is really annoying because you walk into the corner because you keep pressing forward and then the camera shifts and then you have to reorientate where to walk. They try to fix the tank controls by, I think normally tank controls is steering and you press a button to walk, I think, right?
Yeah.
And this is steering and you walk forward by pressing forward. But it's still tank controls because it's not you don't walk where you're aiming, just like Mario games. You just walk forward when you press forward and turn around when you press left and right. And it's really awkward, but you get used to it. It's not that bad. I think if you play this for 15 minutes,
more than 7 minutes.
Yeah, I think. Well, you see, I think after 7 minutes, it gets okay. But I wish it had like Mario controls, like just walk the side you're aiming at. I think. Isn't there a new re-release remaster of Resident Evil 1?
That's possible. I'd have to look. I honestly don't know anymore. I mean, the Resident Evil series never really caught on for me. I remember playing the original Resident Evil back in '95 on the PlayStation, and I was like, okay, I get what they're trying to do. It's Alone in the Dark, but with better
This was
graphics.
an annoying corner, by the way.
It's so dark. I mean, how the frag are you even supposed to see what the hell is going on? Was it this dark on the CRT as well?
I guess. I didn't have problems because I'd closed the curtains before. I knew it's a dark game, so I thought I closed the curtains before playing, and without sunlight in the room. Now I also have sunlight, and then it gets really dark. But I didn't have trouble seeing stuff. I think maybe the CRT outputs a little bit more light as well, so maybe it's a little better on CRT. Yeah, you don't see my character here. So I was figuring out what to do, and it's more like an adventure game, maybe with some action, right? It's
It's
like a point-and-click adventure.
No, not a point and click. It's more like the old European action adventure games. It's the run around, pick up an item, take it to the right location, and it's inventory puzzles, if you will.
Right.
But at the same time, you have these moments where you have to fight off enemies. I think you have to equip your gun here, and you have.
I don't have a gun yet.
No, she had a gun coming into it, or he had a gun coming into it.
Yeah, but it was out of bullets. You'll see later. I'll get the gun later.
Okay. Yeah, because ammunition is one of the big inventory puzzles in this.
I definitely screamed out loud when I was playing this, by the way, but mostly because the controls were like, how to get out of here. I want to run out of here, but the controls are bugging me. But maybe that's also part of the experience, that you're fighting the controls. I think
no, that's just bad design.
Yeah, but it would be so easy when the controls are normal. I think. I think
Well,
the
I
slow and
think
deliberate pacing of the movement is maybe also sort of like the clumsiness. It's also sort of designed in.
well, it's designed in because they're using pre-rendered backgrounds. If they had real-time backgrounds, have you ever played Dino Crisis?
That's a similar game, right?
It's a very similar game, but it's not using pre-rendered backgrounds. It's using real-time rendered backgrounds.
Okay.
So, for example, you don't have these big blocky shifts when you're going from one angle to the other. The camera shifts fluidly with you.
Hmm.
And then suddenly you don't need the tank controls because you can then really control it like, let's say, a Mario 64.
Okay.
I'm not saying the controls are exactly the same. I'm just saying that you don't have these constant shifts where every new camera angle is unpredictable.
Right. Yeah. That was really troublesome. Especially there was a little corner at the elevator there. It was like it shifts. The camera view shifts like all of a sudden like 180 degrees or something. It's and you have to walk the other side to the other
Yeah,
side. It's really confusing, but
it's really confusing, but early generation of PlayStation software, you couldn't render the pre-rendered option. But pre-rendered gives you those really cool detailed angles, but at the same time, it breaks the fluidity of the controls.
right. And I think the GameCube would have been capable to
Oh yeah,
do this in
but
full
not at this
3D.
detail. Not
No,
at
that's
this
true.
detail, and
That's
not
true.
with this amount of lighting. I mean, if you look at it, you got really nice lighting on the character, but just look at the lighting on that statue. If
Yeah.
the GameCube had to do that level of lighting,
Yeah. Sure.
it could have done it, but then it couldn't have done any other characters on the screen
Yeah,
at the
and
same.
the characters are, I think, really high polygonal because of it. They're really
Of
nice looking as
course.
well.
Well, and that was one of the things that distinguished the original Resident Evil on the PlayStation was because they didn't have to render the backgrounds, the characters looked much better than other human-looking characters on other PlayStation games at the time. Now, as the PlayStation got older and people figured out more and more tricks, obviously the other games rivaled it. But this is where games like Tekken and Soul Calibur, no, not Soul Calibur, Soul Blade, uh, looked so good, relatively speaking, because they only had to do two characters on screen at the same time, one-on-one fighting games. The game that changed the math on this, of course, was Metal Gear Solid, because then it had real-time process backgrounds, real-time characters, and plus special effects. And after that, you couldn't pull off a game like this anymore because it just seemed outdated.
Yeah, and Metal Gear Solid also has a really strong art design. Or really, it's. I think maybe the polygons aren't even that high resolution, but because of all the effects and the nice camera angles and stuff, it really looks really nice.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
by the
Plus the
way, 7 minutes
CRTs.
are over. Over.
Oh yeah, the 7 minutes are over. So, okay. So, what do you think of this game as a whole?
If the controls were a little bit better, or maybe if I get more used to it, I would definitely play this. It's pretty cool actually. Yeah, I don't know. It's somehow I never play survival horror, but maybe I should get into it. I'm mostly when I play games, it's in the morning, so it's really weird to play survival horror games in the morning. So maybe yeah, it's more like you have to play this at night or something, or
Hmm.
and yeah, I'm not often really a night gamer, so maybe that's also the reason I never played
Or
these
maybe
games.
it's just something you need to stream. Ha ha ha.
That would be fun to watch.
Yeah, there you go.
Me screaming.
Exactly.
I
Your
want to
wife
play
would
Dead
really
Space
appreciate that.
really soon, so maybe
There
that
you
would be
go.
that would be a nice entrance into
this genre.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording here, and we're going to go back to the audio.